Hi, welcome to the Coaching Game. I'm Laurie Lawson, and tonight my guest is Donna Leake. Hey, Donna.
Hi, how are you?
I'm thrilled to have you on, is how I am.
Thrilled
Donna
to be
and
here.
I met through the infamous Points of View game. Oddly enough, and it was via Israel. They told her she was looking for some answers, and she called Israel, and they told her, contact me. And since then, we've kind of kept track of each other, what we've been doing. So
Good
I'm thrilled to have
friends.
you on the show tonight. Tell us a little bit about, before we get started, because as you can see, we're going to use the layout there. You can't
Okay.
really see, but we're going to explain what's going
Okay.
on. Tell us a little bit about how you got into coaching, because none of us, like, at our age got up and said, oh, you know what, when I grow up, I want to be a coach. There
Right.
wasn't such a thing, yeah.
Exactly. And I was working in corporate and going back to school for psychology. And I was going to go further. And I found coaching, looked into it, and I love the concept that it takes you from the state you're in and moves you forward.
You don't have to go back.
You don't
I
have
love
to
that.
go
You don't have to go back, you go forward.
You go forward, and you create goals, and you little steps on how you're going to get somewhere. And it's okay if you can't go a certain direction that everyone else is going. Where I think sometimes in therapy, people get depressed when they're saying, I'm not at the place in life where everyone else is. But in coaching, they say, okay, well, let's create a little plan that works for you and how we can get you where you want to be.
And that doesn't, that really doesn't mean people think, oh, that's just so superficial. You're going to just move forward. The past will come up.
Right. Oh, yeah, it comes
up. It will,
up. Yep.
It does. We have no choice on that. But it's like, rather than dwell in that and start from way back here, it's like, let's start right here.
Right.
And when we get to obstacles, we'll remove them.
Exactly.
That's the part that I loved. It was like, I was doing geriatric care management, and that is a very noble business, helping people in the final days of their lives and dealing. And I said, that's good. It's cool to help people die, but I want to help people
on their final days.
Yeah, or just managing care for elderly or disabled. And I said, but you know what? I really want to help people live, and that's what I like, the positive message in coaching.
Yeah.
So different from finance.
That's
too, right?
Yeah, much different, and the whole
priorities,
the whole
have changed.
environment, the vibe of being with other coaches and clients that are excited to move forward than in a corporate environment. Yeah, it's a whole different world.
We were talking about how difficult it is to get positive relationships in corporate, because
yes, we were.
Technically, you're set up to compete against each other and build the numbers and get the sales and close the deals. And it's like, it's hard to maintain, I remember.
Yes.
And the reason I got out of corporate was I didn't like who I was becoming. It was like, I was getting so good at politics.
Don't you feel, and you almost get lost.
Yes,
I feel that
I
didn't know my personality. 1 minute I'm corporate, I'm all dressed and I'm ready to go, and I have all, the files in my hand and reports. And then I'm laughing and I'm being goofy with people, on the other side of the department. And then I'm like, okay, now I'm back at my desk. I have to be serious. It's just everything of people watching you, and it's so corporate, and what you could say, what you can't say. You don't know who you are. You end up everything is. HR's watching you.
I was HR, and I could never display. I was watching you.
You were one of them.
I was one of them, right? But I could never display any kind of emotion because I was the buffer between management and workers. So I could, they would bring their problems to workers, and then I'd have to go and tell them. I could never, and I'm going, oh my gosh, I never get to say how I feel.
Yeah,
nobody cares.
It's true. Yeah,
you
just everyone comes to you, and then they leave, and then you're just like left alone.
Exactly, right? And you can't really say, oh, that's awful what they're doing to you, because you represent both people. So they're both elements. So what kind of relationship coaching are you doing now?
Relationship coaching. It's more with, it could be dating if someone is looking for someone.
That's the first thing
people think. That's the first thing people think, but it's not mainly that. The clients that come to me are looking for relationships in their lives with their spouse to make them better. It's not necessarily their relationships are failing that they want out. It's just how to make it better. Right. With their children, communication is key. Communication is it's what holds relationships, trust. So how to create relationships even in the workplace, what we were just speaking about. You have a lot of people that, different personalities, different salaries, stress. So you come into the corporate world, and a lot of people, they're just you said that before, setting almost like they're set up that way. They're set up to, all different personalities in an office, and there can be a lot of conflict. So coaching, or for a company to hire a coach, can help a department just allow them to vent their feelings or their situation and get to know even though we work with each other for 40 hours a week, sometimes we really don't even know each other.
No,
we just,
no.
right? We just,
And
we
if
make
they know
faces
each
and
other, they
comments.
know it on the basis of, well, this is their job and this is what they're responsible for, but not the real person.
Right, right. And we judge them. And then sometimes when you're outside of work, you see a different side of them. And you're like, oh, I didn't know how funny that person was or how nice that person was. So coaching in the corporate world with relationships is just getting them to just learn to know more about each other, and also have empathy, what someone's going through, even in their position.
It's funny because people go, I do corporate, and so you automatically think of the top CEO, and I don't know if I can do it, and other coaches will go, oh my gosh, I don't know if I can this guy's really high up. And it's like corporate people are people too. And they need coaching more than anybody, because they, like HR, don't get to show. They have to be strong, they have to be decisive, they have to be leaders, and they don't get to show their insecurities or even their questions. They have to have the answer. So you're right. It's amazing that companies work at all when you think about it, because you throw a bunch of people in there, give them all different things, and say, okay, now work together.
And I know one thing I just want to add is that in the department that I have last worked in, when you go into an office and you shut the door with your manager, everyone is talking. So there's no privacy. True. And then even the manager, if it's a male, and then you have a female employee coming in to speak to them, how do they talk? Where's that fine line? They don't know what they're crossing. So sometimes when a department as a whole goes into a coaching session or a workshop, they learn, because now everyone sees, and it's not like, oh no, how do I deal with this one person in my office, or what is everyone else thinking, or should I let HR know that person's in my office? So coaching does help so I like that with relationships.
Yeah, and I love that you've expanded the whole relationship, and it's not just like how to get a date Friday night and how to keep it going.
It's not a dating.
It could be,
coaching.
but it's not.
Right.
That you've expanded it to, even include relationship with yourself. I mean, it's just in that, but everything stems from that. So,
sure.
So what Donna has courageously agreed to do is be coached on air via the coaching game. And what we're going to do is, I'm going to just show you parts of the coaching game, which is just, you've seen the cards before, but the coaching game has a layout. And there's one for relationships. We're not going to do that. And there's one for awakeness, and there's one for past, present, and future. The one that Donna's going to do is gain and loss. And it's so easy. They make it so easy here, because they really just tell you what to do. So, for example, for gain and loss, I'm staying in a job I do not enjoy. How many people have been in that situation? What am I gaining and what am I losing? Or I'm at an important junction, I need to make a decision. That's more relationship, and have no idea what to do. That's when you would use this layout. And as they explain the objective, it's to create awareness of what I gain and what I lose regarding a specific issue in my life. So Donna's going to choose an issue from her life that she'd like to take a closer look at. It could be a problem, a choice, an ongoing process, a relationship, or more. So, and really what we're going to do is that the game comes with what they're called focus notes. And it's a little book of focus notes, and Donna has one here. And what she's going to do in the beginning is write her issue right here and get very clear on that, so we can say, okay, that sometimes, because you go, and I'll tell while you're writing, I'll tell, I do some mentor coaching, and I go, people are going to call you and say, you know what, Laurie, this is my problem. And in my head, I go, I know you think that's your problem. Let's find out what it really is. You're giving me a symptom, and that's good. Let's go to the source.
Maybe it's not even what they think it is.
Exactly. So it's easy to get off track. So that's why we make people write down the issues so we can kind of stay on track. So what is your issue?
My issue is, in my practice, I have these tools, and I've been using them for years, probably about 4 years since I started. I don't use them as much or take them out with certain clients. And I feel that on my website, I kind of shied away from it because I didn't know if people would understand it and just, click to another site because they didn't know what phototherapy was. What are these cards? So I'm changing. I'm going through a transition. I want to just be me as a coach, and this is what I do, and this is phototherapy helps, and it can help other people. So I've changed my website. I put the cards up, gave little examples of what it's doing, but now I want to expand into workshops. Okay, so I have a little
the fun part.
Yeah,
I love workshops.
Yeah, it's fun and it's exciting. It's also different from me. I'm used to one-on-one or little groups. So, there's a little bit of fear, a little scared, and excitement. There's a lot of excitement in there. Just finding who I can do them with, where do I go? Do I do it in a yoga studio? Do I do it in my office? So I have that all going through, and then I end up, a month goes by, a month goes by, a month goes by. Before you know it, another year's going to go by. So I want to start doing it now.
So
that's my issue.
I want
to sum
do
it up,
workshops.
Yes, I want to expand my business, my coaching business, and add workshops to it. So I'll be home in the office, and then I'll be out on the weekends.
Great. So if that were your issue, you would write down, I want to do workshops.
Yeah.
And I guess and as a side thing, it would be, and why haven't I? That's what we're seeing. So yeah, that's what we're seeing.
So I wrote it on
So we're going to leave that, and that's just to keep us focused for now. And you know what? I will write down the cards you choose. And then what we're going to do is, Donna's going to, these cards are all face down. Donna's going to choose 3 cards. This is a 3-card layout.
Okay.
And just choose them, and we'll put them in the proper place, and then we will let you answer the questions via the card. How's that?
Perfect.
Okay. So get to choosing.
Get to doing
They're
it.
calling you. Which one?
Okay. There you
go.
go.
We'll go with number 1.
I'll go here.
Number 2.
And then I'll take this one.
Okay. And number 3.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So the first card that she chose is devotion. And the question under this card is, what am I gaining?
Okay.
So what does this card mean to you?
Can I hold it?
Sure.
Okay.
Under devotion, what am I gaining? And I'm writing down the word under card number 1 so she'll remember later.
Okay. When I look at the card, what I'm gaining, and I look at the belly.
Yes.
It's a pregnant belly. If I can relate it to the workshops, I can expand, like the belly's expanding. I can expand my practice, even my clients. Could be 1, 2, 3, 4 babies in there. So
oh my goodness.
I hope not,
really?
Right? That in relationship to, or relations to my business, I can also, doing these workshops, create new clients.
Okay.
New clients, meet new people, network with other people. And so what am I gaining? I'm gaining everything. I'm expanding my business. It's money.
Hopefully,
right? More money.
Right.
Just more opportunities. And the more businesses I go to and I reach, or people that I reach, just having my name out there.
By expanding your business and doing all that with workshops and phototherapy and all of that, what are you devoted? To what are you increasing your devotion?
What am I increasing my devotion to?
We can tell, I think anybody can tell that you're devoted to coaching. That's very obvious.
Very devoted.
But by gaining, what else are you, by expansion? And
I'm devoted to help other people. I know, coaching, meaning my practice, but to reach a larger audience and help people, and also so they know about coaching. That's another thing. If I start advertising for workshops for coaching, a lot of people are going to say, oh, a life coaching or relationship coaching workshop. What is that? A lot of people still are stuck on therapy. Right?
Sure,
And
yeah.
I mean, when I was certified, that's the first thing they said. Oh, I'm like, oh, I'm so happy for you. So wait, what are you doing? Like, what's life coaching?
Right.
So
I came about when they were going, you say I'm a coach, and they go, oh, what sport? Football?
Yes.
No. Too short for
Right.
basketball. No.
Right.
None of that, yeah.
Too short.
So
yes.
what are you doing for yourself? How's this, what are you gaining for yourself when you're thinking about this expansion? I heard you
Gaining for
say
myself?
nervous.
Yeah, well, it'll get me out of my comfort zone.
Yeah.
Get me absolutely out of my comfort zone. And I think I know, it's not that I think, I know that's a lot of my reservations to get out there is the fear of not just where am I going to do it. I know where I'm going to look. I know the type of people or the target audience that I want. It's just, putting yourself out there, not having people question what is this about, or not have fun in the workshop, because I know I have these tools they're going to have.
Or if they see the card, and we were talking about, we both get this. Is that like tarot cards? No.
Tarot cards all the time.
We don't read the future.
Yes.
If we did, we'd be much
Yes.
richer, but we don't. We do lotto, and that'd be it. We'd never work again, but that's not the way it works.
Right, exactly.
Right. So you're introducing an unknown entity.
Yes.
And expanding your audience to let them know what's going on.
Yeah, absolutely.
And by doing that, you're getting
confidence,
more.
everything. It just, I just feel better about myself when I do something. Just even like coming here, when you gave me that call, right away I didn't know, what it was gonna. And I said, just do it, just do it, and it's just and that's what I have to do with the workshops. Just do it.
I have a crazy relationship with fear. As soon as I'm onto myself that I'm not doing something because of fear, it's like, you have to do it.
Right.
Like, I hope this isn't,
Right.
not going to end up dead someday. You have to jump in front of that bus. No. But it's like, so,
Right.
So the devotion to your career and to the concept of, which is why I do this show also, to letting people know about coaching and all the great things that can happen, that's what you're gaining.
Yes.
So that's cool. All right, let's go for the next one. What price are you paying?
Okay.
Oh my gosh, excuses. She drew the excuse card.
I don't know if you could see it.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
any reason, excuses.
Okay. Well, first, just the head in the ground.
Yeah, the old head in the sand, I guess.
Working alone as a coach can be very lonely. And I was just having this conversation with another coach just yesterday, and it becomes very lonely. And it's satisfying because I'm helping people. They come over, they smile, they leave, we go through all their goals, and they're very happy, and I love that. But then, you turn around and you're just like, okay, there's no one I can share. Not that I want to share the session, but another coach, or even just, So with the cards and my situation, if I don't do the workshops, the rest of my career in coaching will be alone.
Oh my
In
goodness,
my
I love
office.
that. And that's not an unusual problem, because I know a couple of coaches who couldn't do it, simply not because they didn't believe in coaching, but because it was like, I need verification, I need validity, I need feedback from people, I need a steady paycheck, I need somebody to tell me I'm doing good. So great.
Yeah.
So
That's one thing that I know that and the excuses, that word is perfect, because we make so many excuses, and I know I have on certain things. And there was a time that I was coaching, up until recently, just women, and I had excuses and reasons for that.
Right.
And I'd have so many men come up at health fairs that I'd have a booth, or just in speaking, and they would say, you cutting out the men that need those services. You're cutting out half of your business. So I was making a lot of excuses, because sometimes people, it's almost like they say, fear of losing, but fear of being successful.
Yeah.
And that's another thing. I want success, but then it's like, whoa.
So you make excuses.
Right.
Yeah.
So you make excuses.
And so what if you continue to make excuses, or when you make excuses, what price do you pay?
oh, big price. My happiness, moving forward, reaching other people that can use me.
Right.
So that's something too.
Yeah. Okay. What is the insight? Load. Interesting. So load is like this guy has 4,000 baskets on his shoulders there. Sort of see it, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And so what is the insight? Load.
Well, the gentleman in this picture is carrying the load. So if I can relate it, I can carry on more workload. I can carry on the workshops. I can do this. I mean, you see in the photo, it's all faded over here. So my concentration is just on the workshops. Don't pay attention to any fear, any excuses. Okay. That's how I'm interpreting this card. People aren't always watching if I'm doing it right or I'm doing it wrong. You see in the picture, his
people are
head
turned away.
is turned away.
So
as
long as he doesn't drop the baskets on them, everything's fine. Yeah.
Right, exactly. So that's my insight, is just do it. Just do it. Whatever comes up, just grab the opportunity and stop making excuses.
Let me play devil's advocate, because if you really are going to do this, what will this, if you add workshops, what will this add to your load or take away from your load? I don't know.
Add to my load it's a positive. Okay. Because it gets lonely doing, like I said, being one-on-one. Even when they don't come in my office and I'm talking to them on the phone or Skyping them. I like the transition of being able to get up and just go right to, to another facility or another place or someone's home and do a workshop and see other people.
So it'll add camaraderie.
Yeah, exactly.
And, community. Which is
community,
great.
yeah, I need that. I feel that, speaking for myself, I need that. I'm a people person. I love people.
We couldn't tell.
You can't tell.
No, we really could tell. Let me write down load while we're doing that. Yes,
yeah.
So go ahead.
So I love that, and I love people, and I love seeing people get that aha moment, when I ask a question and they're fighting it. And then oh, I know what you mean, or oh, I know what I have to do. So if I can be in a group with people, and I really feel that people help one another in the groups. I've been at the retreat when we were doing being certified for points of view, and it was great. The energy that people were feeding off
play off each other.
Yeah,
absolutely.
They do, and they ask questions and they say, well, what do you think of this, or what? So within my practice, I go as far as I can go with them, but I can't even imagine doing a workshop and then having everyone else help another person out or bring it further. Right. Does that make sense?
It makes so much sense. And conversely, if there's more people, the load is not on you.
Right.
You can play off the energy of other people, and someone in the group might have an insight that sparks something in someone else.
You're right.
So
exactly.
it takes away from the load, as when you add it to it, it also takes away. So
you're right.
Yeah.
There you go. See?
Perfect card. In the beginning, I always look at the cards and I go, oh my God, what's she going to do with this? Now I want to say something about this. Is a black and white solitary. This poor guy has got a lot on his back. And yet, and when we talk about load, we think, oh my God, I'm already so busy and I'm loaded down. Yep. And yet Donna took it positive and went, yeah, I'm going to add this to my load. So it's all a matter of perspective.
And you know what? And if I can just say this, add this. The reason why is because if I wasn't already feeling that I can do it, my mind wouldn't have said, I can take it on, and it's showing me that. I believe that when people are in a certain state, it shows. The cards bring it out. It just brings it out of them. Yeah. They may be fighting it. Their consciousness may fight it when you ask them a question. But when you show a picture, what you really want comes out. That's why we cry at movies. Sure. We look at photographs, right? It brings up an emotion. Yeah. You look at a magazine. I may stop at one page. You may go right through it. But there's something that made me stop. It stirs up emotions. And I feel that that's why. So I know. It's confirmed.
That's interesting because it's like people, and look what you've done. Actually, 2 of the cards are black and white, which is kind of like clear cut, black and white, and not colorful. And then the excuses one is where you get really creative. It's like, how can I think of another excuse why I can't do this?
Right.
So it's kind of like black and white. But I love that. Yeah, I think images are amazing.
Yeah.
And they just break down a wall that we didn't even know was there. And as suddenly people start talking, I use these as icebreakers in workshops, just because to have someone introduce themselves through the card is so unique, rather than go, hi, I'm Laurie, I've been a coach for a little bit. Who cares, you know? But excuses.
Went to college,
hi,
right,
I'm Laurie,
right.
I make all kinds of crazy excuses. That's more interesting.
Right, you learn more, and that's one thing that I learned on the retreat. When we had to pick a card and introduce ourselves, first we had, I think it was 25 people around the room, and I'm like, oh my goodness, here we go. I have to mention what college I went to, and this and that, and what companies I worked for, right? My age. And it wasn't that.
No.
It was just.
It was from the heart.
From the heart. And I felt closer with the people in the room than just knowing what title they had.
Exactly. Because you aren't your title, you aren't your age, you aren't your college. You know, it's really more about your humanity and what you are in life, and your value system. So if we had to values. We have a minute and almost 2 minutes, but not quite.
Okay.
So if we had to write down what your insight is, what would that be?
If I had to write down what my insight from all this is, there's nothing I'm going to lose. There's absolutely nothing I'm going to lose by expanding. The excuses. I'm going to rip up all the fear and excuses, and I'm going to move forward and meet new people.
Love it.
And help more people. And that's it. And companies or whoever else.
Yeah. They're great in company. The workshops are great too.
Yeah.
And then also at the back of this card is a 3-prong step, and it's like, what are you going to do? What's one thing you can do tomorrow to take this step, in a week and in a month, and just to get you going. And you would let the person take the card home as a reminder, and hopefully from there would come an action plan, and then you would keep your coach, and the coach will coach you through and know for the insights. So do you feel this is pretty accurate?
Yes, it's definitely accurate, and I'm in the process of doing a lot. But just talking about it even now makes you more excited, you know? Because again, when I'm in my office thinking about it, it's one thing, but then sharing it with someone else is exciting. Sometimes what I'll do on it, I'll just pull a card and go, okay, the card today is la-da-da-da. Results, and the results are that we have 20 seconds left. Okay.
And we got a great show out of this, and showed everybody
how having me.
Oh, it has
really
been
appreciate
so delightful.
Thank you.
Her website is on the bottom, Donna Leake, CLC. Go there, and you're going to find some really cool things and some beautiful cards. She's got them up there now, and
yes, I do.
So thank you, Donna.
Thank you so much for having me.
This.
I appreciate it. Thanks.